Hello everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. Today's episode is about how to make wonderfully tender beef tenderloin steak with a really rich and delicious recipe for red wine reduction sauce, then served with grilled corn on the cob that is slathered with a very tasty homemade garlic butter compound. Now if that doesn't make you hungry, what would? So let's get started with the red wine reduction sauce. First of all, this recipe makes an awful lot. If you're only doing a few steaks, you may want to cut the amounts in half. Now we'll start by chopping up some shallots. They need to be finely chopped, and you'll need about 3/4 of a cup. Then we'll melt together about 5 tablespoons of butter in a medium saucepan, and we'll add the shallots and cook them over medium to low heat or so, stirring them occasionally until they're soft and translucent, about 7 or 8 minutes. Add 6 fresh thyme sprigs. Now 3 cups of beef broth. I'm using beef broth from a roast that I had cooked previously, as well as I'm topping it up with some boughten beef broth. Of course, the best beef broth is always when you do your own. I put lots of vegetables in with my roasts, and therefore you get the flavor of all the vegetables in it. 1 teaspoon of sugar. And 1 1/4 cups of red wine. You can add that totally to the broth right now, or you can hold back 1/4 of a cup for the end so that you can get that sharper taste of the wine coming through at the end of the reduction. And add 1/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt and salt and pepper to taste. Cook over medium heat for about 30 minutes or until the liquid is reduced by about half. While the liquid is reducing, place 3 tablespoons of soft butter in a bowl and add the flour to it using a small fork and mix it into a smooth paste. You'll set this aside because you use this for thickening at the end of the reduction. Once the wine mixture is reduced, reduce the heat to low and strain out the thyme sprigs and shallots. Then I add some of the shallots back into the mixture. Whisk the flour butter paste, a teaspoon at a time, into the simmering liquid and simmer for a few minutes until the sauce is thickened. Then set aside until you're ready to pour it over your steaks. The sauce can be made up at this point and refrigerated for up to 3 days ahead of time. Now to prepare the steak. Take a small bowl and pour some extra virgin olive oil. Now then you just take each piece of steak and coat it in the oil on both sides, and then you'll season it with salt and pepper to taste. Now you should let the beef sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes to an hour before grilling. Preheat the barbecue to just between 400 and 450 degrees. Place the steaks on the grill and cook until they're browning up and slightly charred, about 4 or 5 minutes. Then turn the steaks over and continue to grill until your desired doneness. On average, 3 to 5 minutes for medium rare, or until the internal temperature is 135 degrees Fahrenheit, or 5 to 7 minutes or 140 degrees for medium, 8 to 10 minutes for medium well or 150 degrees Fahrenheit, or longer if you like it very well done. Now to make some roasted garlic compound, which I'm going to use on the corn on the cob. Now take a full head of garlic and peel off the outside and cut the top off of them. Place it on some tin foil and add some extra virgin olive oil, making sure to saturate the top well. Now then you'll take it and close the tin foil, place it on the top rack of your barbecue at about 350 to 400 degrees for roughly 30 minutes. Now that it has roasted to a nice golden brown, I'm going to take it and add it to some butter to make a garlic compound. I will be using it today on the corn on the cob. But roasted garlic is so tasty, you can enjoy it just like it is, or you can add it to sauces, stir fries, pasta dishes, you name it. Now to finish off this meal nicely, I'm going to grill some corn. I start by just blanching the corn in some boiling water that has a little bit of salt added to it. And you'll just need to cook that about half the time that you normally would, 5 or 6 minutes. Then remove the corn cobs from the boiling water and slather it with the roasted garlic compound. Then place the corn cobs on the barbecue, turning it frequently until it's roasted up nicely. Oh my goodness, this is turning out so nicely. I can't wait to eat it. Now for the very best part of all, you get to eat it. Serve your steak with the red wine reduction sauce and pair it with the garlic buttered grilled corn on the cob. This is truly amazing flavors and so tasty that it's sure to excite your taste bud. I hope you enjoyed this episode, so until next time, happy eating.